Let me tell you, if you'd told me last year that my quiet lake cabin would become ground zero for a viral meltdown starring a teenage influencer and his city councilwoman mom, I'd have laughed you right off my porch. But that's exactly what happened. And the best part, they dug their own graves, live streamed the whole disaster, and handed me the shovel with both hands. You ever watch someone so sure they're about to win that you almost feel bad watching the trap snap shut? Yeah. That was my weekend. So picture this peaceful Saturday morning. I'm on my porch, coffee in hand, sun coming up over the lake. Birds chirping, waters glassy. Not a care in the world, at least until my doorbell erupts like someone's trying to call in an airstrike. Not a regular ring either, more like a Morse code for drop everything and worship me. I knew this wasn't going to be good. I opened the door, and there's this kid, couldn't have been more than 17, maybe 18, standing there with the kind of swagger you only get when life's never told you no. He's got his phone out already, filming that influencer smirk glued to his face. Behind him, some massive black SUV idles like a panther outsteps his mom, Margaret, and you can smell the money before she even gets within arm's reach. Blazer jewelry, power walk, the whole 9 yards. She flashes a smile that misses her eyes by a country mile and introduces herself. Margaret Anderson, city councilwoman. You'd think she expected me to roll out a red carpet. Then the kid jumps in. I'm Jason Anderson. I need to rent your cabin for Saturday. Not, could I not, would you consider? Nope. Need. Like my place is a Taco Bell and he's got a coupon, and the way he sizes me up in my faded Police Academy shirt and weekend jeans, you can see him calculating, thinking, easy mark, if only, kid. Margaret picks up where he leaves off, smooth as silk. We're prepared to discuss reasonable compensation. Community leaders like us should support each other, don't you think? She lays her city council title on thick pausing, like I'm supposed to bow. Jason, meanwhile, waves his phone. 150,000 followers, sir. This'll be incredible exposure for your property. Most people would be honored. I nearly snorted coffee out my nose. I bite back a laugh, but it's hard. This kid thinks hashtags are a substitute for manners. Then comes the cherry on top. My graduation party's going to be epic, and Mom can handle any permit issues. The way he says bureaucratic stuff like laws are for other people, not folks like them. Margaret beams at him, probably proud he learned his extortion tactics young. I let them talk, letting them build up their confidence. 20 years as a cop, you get a sixth sense for this kind of arrogance. These two textbook. The best part, they're about to educate themselves, and I'm just the lucky guy with a front row seat. So I play along. I thank them for coming by, say how interesting this is. Jason lights up like a Christmas tree, already planning the party. Margaret's all smiles, thinking her title worked its magic. I'm sure this will work out exactly the way it should, I say. Oh, buddy, it will. Next morning, my phone rings. Margaret again, her voice suddenly official. She leans on the councilwoman title papers, rustling in the background. Lake properties have complex zoning requirements. I'd hate for there to be any confusion about how your property's being used. Not so subtle threat wrapped in bureaucratic ribbon. She's basically saying, let my son have his party, or the city will be on your back. What she doesn't know, I'm recording everything. Jason's in the background whispering, tell him about the permit stuff. It's like a bad crime movie. Amateurs hatching a scheme, not realizing they're making it all easy for me. Margaret says community cooperation is important. Sometimes complications arise that nobody wants to deal with. That's code for play ball or we make your life a mess. But I'm not the guy you threaten. I do a little digging. Margaret moved to our district after burning bridges with her advocacy-style translation, bullying people. Jason's socials are exactly what you'd expect, all toys and privilege. They've always gotten their way, and now they're about to get schooled. By noon, Jason's posted a hit piece about me, a selfish cabin owner, refuses to help students. Neighbors call to say I'm internet famous for being a villain. Teenagers flood my inbox demanding I do the right thing. Meanwhile, Margaret's weaponizing city bureaucracy, compliance checks, zoning inquiries, all the tricks. Every call, every threat I'm documenting. It's a paper trail so thick you'd need a chainsaw to cut through. Jason goes from polite DMs to public threats. Tomorrow we're taking this to his door. It's all so perfectly dumb. They're making my case for me. Saturday comes, and here's the real show. Black SUV caravan of cars, teens hanging out the windows, phones out. Jason's dressed for his close-up narrating for his live stream. We're at the selfish cabin owner's house. Margaret arrives in power suit and council pin briefcase in hand. They look like the world's most entitled homecoming court. Margaret starts waving official documents, none of which are real, talking about community cooperation guidelines. She spins fantasy violations, environmental concerns, and zoning nonsense. The subtext, hand over your cabin, or we'll bury you in paperwork. Jason's followers are cheering, calling me every name in the book. Meanwhile, he's streaming the whole circus. Every threat, every abuse of office, every moment. Then the grand finale. Margaret drops all pretense. As an elected official, I'm telling you, this property will serve the community this Saturday. We can do this cooperatively or through other channels. Jason's chiming in. My party's happening here one way or another. They're so sure they've got me cornered, so blind to what's coming. I reach into my back pocket. Jason's eyes go wide. Out comes my badge. I'm Chief Richard Taylor. The look on their faces, you could feel the air leave the driveway. Margaret freezes. Jason nearly drops his phone. I tell them, calm as you please, I've been recording everything. Threatening a police officer with political retaliation, abusing your office, harassment, intimidation. We've covered a lot of ground. Margaret's color drains from her face. Jason's followers are losing their minds in the comments. Now the world's watching them, not me. Margaret tries to backtrack Chief Taylor. This is all a misunderstanding, but it's too late. I show them the call logs, play her threats back, point to Jason's live stream. They documented every crime themselves. The fallout is swift and brutal. News stations pick up the story. City councilwoman and influencer son threaten police chief on live stream. Jason's follower count nosedives. He's gone from 150,000 to under 20,000 in hours. Margaret's facing a council ethics investigation. Her old speeches about responsible governance suddenly a punchline. Their friends vanish. Politicians disown them. Even Jason's graduation crowd is posting, didn't really know the guy. When it hits the courts, it's a massacre. Prosecutors roll out the evidence, every threat, every abuse, every attempt to turn my property into their playground. Margaret gets jail time, a huge fine stripped of her title. Jason sentenced to juvenile detention, years of probation, community service at a food bank, no more TikTok until he's 21. They're now poster children for how not to behave, studied in law schools, featured in training classes. The internet never forgets memes, reaction videos, hashtags, how I'd remember Margaret. Even their insurance company is fighting them, refusing to cover political corruption. You want to know the real justice? Margaret's in county jail folding laundry, her city council status worth exactly nothing. Jason's picking up trash by the highway, learning what real struggle means. Their legacy. They made the world a little better, not by being good, but by being a warning. Me, I'm back on my porch, coffee and hand water, quiet, no more drama. The new neighbors wave their kids, play politely. The case's ripple effects are still changing laws, making it harder for bullies to get away with this nonsense. Sometimes the best way to deal with entitled people is just to let them dig. Margaret and Jason handed me the rope, and all I had to do was watch. Would you have handled it the same way? Ever seen someone destroy themselves live for all the world to see? Drop your thoughts below. What's justice to you? Hit like, share your own stories, and remember, sometimes all it takes to win is a little patience and a whole lot of documentation. Stay strong out there.